rockets like a Saturn V taking off could get there.
It's just that they say, you know,
See it impossible.
they say, you know, how could they get through the Van Allen radiation belts, you know?
It's a good question. How much radiation, or does the poles, North and South Pole, make a sort of a push that aside into two charged particle areas, I think.
Right.
Here we get into John's vitamin collection.
Oh, wow.
The powders.
I'll leave that. That phone can just keep ringing. So show me all the... Wow, so... whey...
Powder.
What does whey powder do for you? Why do you pick all of these? You just tried them out, or you know that they definitely work, or...
I try them... No, I know they do work. I do a lot of research before I...
Yeah. Show me the oxygen one. I'm really curious to see.
Should be down about here.
Bioxy, that's different to the one that I've got. Let's have... Can I have a look?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, let's see this one. Bioxy Cleanse. Nascent oxygen technology. Is that made in Canada? Okay.
It's very interesting stuff to take. It's white powder.
Right.
And I take that and...
How can I buy this? Where do I buy this from?
Actually, you could probably buy it at any health food store, I would think.
Bioxy Cleanse. That is fascinating. Because the ones I've got is similar idea, but they're in a tablet.
Oh, okay.
Tablet form. But the MSM that I've got is in its purest form. It's in a powder.
Oh, okay.
And the MSM I know works for me because it's like, you know, John, I was in pain for a month. Just I couldn't walk on my foot or anything. So much trouble. And then when I tried MSM, it fixed the problem.
HGH boosters, I take that a lot.
Well, is that real human growth hormone?
It teaches the body how to produce it.
No way.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, yes. And it's something I started way back in 1991.
So rather than taking synthetic human growth hormone and injecting it, it teaches the body to make it itself, which would then definitely keep you youthful then.
That's absolutely true. My doctor is very interested in what I'm doing.
Wow.
Gotta just get my face fixed up.
Why do you say that, getting your face fixed up?
Well, my skin is...
How is your skin? Yeah, your skin is so perfect.
All over, and I believe it's just my...
Because of that?
My regime here of things.
Do you do much exercise at all, or mainly just...
I love physical work. It gives me actually more energy, and I've been doing a lot in here.
Yeah. There's John.
This is me. I should put a light
There's
on me.
me. There's Tim meeting John Hutchison at last. It's great.
Here I am in my, palace?
I think, you know, John, it's great that you gave me a chance to come and see you, you know, because...
My pleasure.
I think it's really nice of you to do that.
I love people. I love interacting with people.
It's fantastic, you know, Zan. I finally get to meet John. If only Don was with us, because Don would have loved John. I mean, and you guys would have got on so well, you know. I can't tell you how much Don Boyd would have just loved, you know. Yeah, I didn't. He was one of these guys I didn't know that much about, but I found out later that he got an inheritance from his family. They were quite wealthy, but he was really he really lived a life that you never would think that he had any kind of money, and he used to use it to help struggling writers, and he put out a magazine in Australia called Australian Psychical Research, and yeah, he just did things like that. He wrote psychic magazines, and he spent all of his money on that, just trying to help, you know, people, and no, he's absolutely fascinating guy. He would have been with me on this trip, you know, if only he didn't die of cancer. But
sorry to hear that.
do you think there's any cure for cancer, John? Have you heard of any cures, like oxygen therapy, maybe? Or?
There's oxygen therapy, and one of the most aggressive anti-cancers is a product called Hosiak.
Hosiak.
And the other one is Canex Black Salve.
Canex Black Salve.
Extremely powerful anti-cancer, as well as vitamin D.
Yeah.
I met a U.S. congressman who was here.
Yeah.
Oh, we're on TV again. I met a U.S. congressman who was here, is cured of Lyme's disease and prostate cancer.
From taking what product?
Just natural products recommended by Dr. Julian Whitaker. And he was so intrigued by that, he formed the American Association for Alternative Health,
Wow.
actually in helping Senator Orrin Hatch, who then, by then, William Jefferson Clinton signed all of this into public law that Americans have the right to alternative health.
Right.
Very interesting story. Congressman Berkeley Bedell, his name is, he was here in 1998 with his wife Eleanor, and we spent the whole afternoon together.
Right.
So, and speaking of which, I met, by telephone only, Dennis Kucinich. He was going to come over here, but...
Who's Dennis Kucinich? Is he another famous person in America?
Yeah,
I don't know all these names.
Yeah, he was going to run for president. He was presidential
Really?
candidate, yeah.
Wow.
Very spiritual man.
But so this product, these products about cancer, I mean, you still see people dying every day, you know, from cancer. And why aren't these products, you know, I often get frustrated, you know, when I tell people about oxygen therapies and things. From your point of view, in knowing a lot about alternative therapy, why do you think that some of these famous people aren't taking some of this black salve stuff that you said, or that, you know?
I am amazed at that. I've seen black salve remove cancer off of feet and arms. Literally off of, her name was Shirley Innes, the famous granddaughter of the gentleman that started Hollywood's Spanky and R Gang. And I've seen this happen to other people too, and I think really the reason we can't do that is that the doctors are into the pharmaceuticals. They're bought in. And some of these cures are right in their own handbook, the Merck Index. The cures are right there, but they have forgotten about the Merck Index, gone into the pharmaceuticals. And that's why a lot of people will not go. They say, alternative, no, I'll go follow my doctor's advice like my dad did.
Right. He died, did he?
He died.
I'm sorry, man. Well, how long ago?
That was 1993.
Oh,
so,
man.
Yen and I were trying to get him into the hands of alternative healers who were doctors, actually.
And I see.
No, he said he just trusts his family doctor, and that's unfortunately, it's just.
That happened to my grandmother. Had the same thing. There was we had a doctor called Dr. John Holt, and he was in Perth, Australia, Western Australia, and he cured a young man of brain cancer who had an aggressive brain tumour. He was only 23. He had a month to live, and he cured him, and it made the national TV. I mean, it really caused an uproar. And it turned out he was using this therapy called microwave therapy. Okay. And yeah. Do you want me to send you some information about it, for your own reading?
I would be interested.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Because absolutely fascinating. And then it turns out that he's cured hundreds and hundreds of people of cancer. I mean, we're talking like terminal cancer. We're talking the most aggressive forms of cancer, and this guy's been doing it in Australia. Now, this is the dilemma. He's almost, I think he's now 80. He's had to retire. He cannot, he's just too old to keep working, and he's trying to get his sons to continue the therapy.
Okay.
You see? And my grandmother knew about this, and again, like your father, listened to her family doctor and went on chemotherapy, and she died.
Yeah.
But
it happens so much. I have seen people that I didn't recognize. One lady, when I got back from Scottsdale, I know this lady from many visits in the health food store, Hawkeye Health Center. I get back, and then I'm in there talking to my friends that own this health food store, and this lady comes up and says, "Hi, John." I kind of recognize the voice. I said, "Hello, do I know you?" Like,
oh, and she was so sick, and you didn't realize who it was.
No.
Oh.
What happened was they took her back 20 years back in time.
Hey?
I said, "Amanda? What?" I said, "I can't. You look 20. You look like you've been taken back 20 years." Because when I remember her, she was okay health, and she's just a little overweight and was quite active and would invite us for dinner.
So how did they make her young again?
Somehow Daniela brought her right back 20 years through HGH therapy, through cleansing therapies, and all of these things, and proper diets. And I said, my God. And then she's showing me pictures of her on her deathbed, and Danny and Lee helped her get back on her feet. And I said, but you look like, when I remember you wow,
So
you're a hot babe, you know.
Wow.
This lady's, I think, in her 60s.
And she looked like she was 40.
I couldn't believe it.
My God.
I said, okay, Danny, whatever you're doing, you know all the secrets of anti-aging.
Is that when you got really involved in it?
No, this is when I got back from Scottsdale. I was involved in this through reading Dirk Pearson's and Sandy Shaw's book on life extension.
Right.
And then I was always interested in it, and this is when I met Danny and Lee.
Wow.
1990.
Sure
I started it, but I'm impressed,
And so then, and you've been using HGH for how long now? About 18 years, maybe.
Yep, I've been using this kind of stuff, full bore, for a long time.
It's funny because Sylvester Stallone came down to Australia recently.
Oh yeah.
And he got caught with HGH in his bag. Yeah, like synthetic HGH.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he actually got arrested. He got arrested at Sydney Airport in Australia. Seriously, and apparently it's legal to have it in America, but not in Australia. Yeah.
Like DHEA is, you can't have it in Canada, but I get it anyway. That's another one they say.
Right. What's that one called?
DHEA.
BHEA. Is that like a human growth hormone again? Is it?
Kind of, but it promotes testosterone, and it's illegal in Canada, but in the U.S. you can get it. It's not.
So is this where you sleep in there, John? That's your bedroom in there?
Yeah, just reclaim that bedroom.
Wow, how did...
That was a real mess in there, and just 2 nights ago I reclaimed the thing.
Oh man, that must be tough for you, really.
Wow.
How many years have you been doing this now? I mean...
That's where that area in there was the active zone where things would levitate.
Wow.
But there was a lot of stuff in there and a huge central piece hanging down with equipment on it. But that's all been removed and replaced and put in other positions.
Wow. Wow. Here I am with John. Do you get many fans coming in and wanting just to videotape being with you? And
yeah,
yeah.
I do.